In recent years, treatments for childhood cancer have improved a lot, allowing many children to grow up and live as adults. But there's a downside of this success. About 75% of these survivors end up facing health issues later in life because of the treatments they received. That's why it's crucial for them to have regular checkups to make sure they can enjoy the best quality of life possible. After finishing treatment, survivors move on to short-term follow-up care. This is a first moment of transition. The main goal is to detect any signs of the cancer coming back early when it's easier to treat. Next to that, their overall health, both physical and mental, is monitored. 5 years after diagnosis, the survivors should transition again, this time to long-term follow-up care, which focuses on finding any late effects and ensuring a good quality of life. As children become adults, they need help learning how to take care of their health on their own. A last transition is the transition from child-centered to adult-oriented care. Transition is one of the major topics addressed in this project. In this video we explain what transition means and what we do in this project to improve it. Transition of childhood cancer survivors is an active, planned, coordinated, comprehensive, multidisciplinary process to enable childhood and adolescent cancer survivors to effectively and harmoniously transfer from child-centered to adult-oriented healthcare systems. The transition of care process should be flexible, developmentally appropriate, and consider the medical, psychosocial, educational and vocational needs of survivors, their families, and caregivers, and promote a healthy lifestyle and self-management.
Yeah, well, there's this amazing task where we organizing peer visits to 3 centers in Europe: Barcelona, Utrecht and Vienna. And in these hospitals we're learning in 2 days about how long-term follow-up care is organized, how transitional care is organized, and what we can take home and what survivors can take home.
Transition differs from country to country. Some countries have no transition care, other countries have best practices in place, and we hope to achieve the minimum standard of good transitional care in Europe.
There's a need to be done a lot, but there are also countries where already best practices regarding transitions are established. So what we can do now is to learn from these countries where it's well organized, not perfect yet, but quite good. And then we can learn and see if we can transfer this also to the countries where there's more room for development. What's also so wonderful, these survivors are embedded in survivor networks in their own country, so they really can take all the recommendations back to their survivor networks and to their healthcare systems.
A transition guideline will enable hospitals to improve their transition practices for survivors. And good news, the Princess Máxima Center coordinates the development of a transition guideline for survivors of childhood and adolescent cancer within the EU-CAYAS-NET project. A big group of people is working on the development of this guideline, under the supervision of guideline experts from the Princess Máxima Center. This guideline is an important outcome of the EU-CAYAS-NET project. The needs and preferences of the survivors involved in this project are important too, and this makes it a special guideline.
Survivors themselves, they observe how it's organized. They have the lessons learned and they share it with us, so we can make this into the guideline, so that it's very much based upon their own needs.
If you have any questions about transition, visit our website beatcancer.eu and join our lively community.